So, I was reincarnated into a slime. Episode 1. This is a show we're going to begin fall anime 2018 with. And I gotta say, I like the way it really brought us into the show. And we'll get to what I thought about the second part of the show later. So, what is the show about? It's about a guy who actually gets stabbed. And the typical cliche, per se, of getting transported to another world through a video game. And or just magically transported to another world. Kind of like Subaru did from ReZero. And or, I guess, kind of how really Konosuba did it with Kazuma, essentially. You know, he died, except this main character did not die, nor die from almost getting hit by a truck, die from being scared, per se. So the way they describe this guy's death actually made me feel uncomfortable in the very beginning. So basically, we don't really know anything outside of this transportation to another fancy world, outside of, hey, I died and now I'm here. But what we do know is why he got transported to the world and turned into a slime. So the show actually starts being very descriptive about what he's feeling as he's dying, the warmth of his blood flowing out of his body, the coldness that he's feeling before he dies, and so on and so forth. And based off these sensations while he's dying, that's what dictates what his abilities are in the other world. And what I mean by that is, it says, as soon as he says, I can feel the warmth, it says, hey, we're making the acquisition of you have resistance to heat. Hey, we're making the acquisition of you have resistance to the cold. And that's how he starts getting turned into a slime. They're making these attributes, or his weaknesses, new attributes, and they're adding resistance to those attributes. So that's pretty cool to see, actually, and how they handled that. I thought it was really cool, and it did something it didn't have to do. You don't have to explain to us why a slime, but they did explain to us why a slime, and that's pretty cool to actually see. And there's a narrator for whenever he has a question about the world, and that's cool because that's the easy way to make game mechanics, and that's what they're doing. They describe the mechanics of the game, saying this is what this ability does, this is what this ability does. Hey, that flower over there, that's actually a magicule, or it possesses a lot of magicules, which is what makes the world essentially go round. Now, the biggest question I had coming into the show, because I do believe I did say I probably wasn't going to review it for fall anime 2018, but the big thing about this show is, and what I really want to see is, give me good characters. And I think this show really is going to rely on the good characters within the show part of the time, because I was like, hey, it's a dual slime. I'm looking at a dual slime. How am I supposed to, look at his character. I mean, look at his design. Look at his character model in general. It's not something that would attract me to it, right? As a whole, I would not be attracted to this kind of character. I mean, he could have a really cool personality, but the whole slime thing was just, I don't know. But I did see in the opening, it clearly states that he's going to be able to transform into a person, but it's actually going to be a girl. So it used to be a guy, he's going to be transforming into a girl. So that has me kind of like on edge, kind of like, how is this going to rub me the wrong way? Is it going to turn me on and or off? I'm not really sure what that's going to do. But nonetheless, I am pretty excited to see that opening, because the opening actually grabbed my attention. I said, this show may actually get to have sneaky animation, and it does show a broad cast, or a very big group of characters, like 5 other characters, I believe it seems as if we're going to be a part of the main cast. Now, it does seem as if it's going to be an all-female cast, technically female/male cast, whatever our slime guy is classified as, given slimes technically don't have genders. So it's gonna, I don't know, it begs the question to be answered. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that, because if they are all supposed to be quote-unquote girls, per se, it's gonna make me, of course it's gonna make me wonder, can I relate to said character, or would the main cast be more so for a female audience? It really makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, and that's the same thing. That's why I like diverse casts, like maybe 2 guys, 3 girls, 2 girls, 3 guys. I like a diverse cast, because everyone always has their own gender they can relate to better. And so, let's just be honest, sometimes us guys are dimwits, girls. We don't understand why a female character does a certain thing in a certain show, and probably vice versa. Honestly, it's just something. It's especially when a show tries to have a lot of realism, and this show isn't that. So I don't think that would be a problem. But I am wondering, because me personally, I'm not used to reviewing those kind of shows or watching. Actually, I don't think. Don't quote me. Actually, I take that back. I did watch Mei Sao Gaku, and or HX8. I take that back. But that show was over the top. So this is a completely different show. Hopefully this show's a lot better than that one. But nonetheless, though, I did see the cool dragon character that's badass, that's supposed to be really super strong, and he had it's really cool chemistry how he's playing coy sometimes. He's really just a tsundere, and it's really cool to see that character chemistry I saw Rock to rip with the main character. It's just funny, comedic. I loved it. I went to Mal immediately. I said, "Is this supposed to be a comedy too?" It's listed as a fantasy shonen. Oddly enough, fantasy and shonen, out of the two genres to pick from, I mean, I understand fantasy, but shonen, come on now. But no comedy is listed, but I think it's going to be a fun show to watch nonetheless. But I do have my qualms. I want to know, is the character cast going to be good? I mean, so, yeah. Other than that, though, guys, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, X25. See you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.